Here we go, you guys. What's going on? I was telling Phil I was trying to get this head together. This natural thing, you guys, I'm telling you, it requires some work. So, hey, what's going on, you guys? Y'all are coming in. So,
Welcome, welcome.
it is Monday, October the 21st already. I
Wow.
can't believe
The
it.
end of the year.
It is the end of the year. Let me get to these comments out here. So you guys, as you're joining, put some hearts in the and some likes on the screen there, so we can know that you guys are out there. And we switched up things a little bit today at the last minute and decided we're actually kind of been talking about it, right? We've been talking about we're gonna have a guest,
Right.
and so we are back yet again for another episode. What's going on? I tell you, our faithful folks be coming in. Hey, Miss Norma.
Always.
Yes,
Always.
always. And so we have got a show for you. You guys probably already saw it on Facebook. But what's been going on for the weekend, you guys? Hey, what's going on, Yvonne Holmes and the rest of the crew that's joining? Those that are, I don't know if you remember, baby, but we still air on YouTube as well. So we got some friends out there on YouTube that always text me afterwards and say, I'm watching you on YouTube.
Right.
And so, but look, you guys, tell us what y'all did this weekend. What you do this weekend, babe?
I don't know.
I don't even know either.
It's all a blank, a blur.
Okay, but we do know that you, look here, Fuller will not go nowhere, you guys, when it's the Georgia football team is playing.
Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
And you know, I'm from Texas, so UT was playing. But look, Fuller was like, I ain't going nowhere. Kamala Harris can be in town all she wants to for a rally.
I voted for it. I already voted for it.
We voted.
So, yeah, I voted for it.
Yeah, so we voted this weekend too. And
but Bulldogs, the men come for Bulldogs.
Yeah, we be stressing on the whole Bulldog thing and the rest of the folks. So you guys, look, we better get to it because we got a whole show and some.
Yep.
And so we are back with our homeboy, our friend extraordinaire. Now look, you guys, you are never gonna ever be disappointed when our friend TC comes into the mix, because I tell you what, that dog on TC know he can talk. And he like to talk, and so we're gonna make sure you guys get a full scope of today.
But the reason he talks, but he has something to say.
He got something
that's different.
Yes,
a lot of people just be talking. TC has something to say.
Yes, so he's a one-man show. He don't really need us to say a whole lot of stuff. So, but look at him in the background. Look, y'all check this out. TC over there coaching us on the podcast, giving us lighting instructions, giving us camera instructions, and we like, look here, man, you just tell us what to do. We gonna follow suit.
That's right.
What's up, TC?
What's up?
What's up?
Y'all
it's good to see you. Looking good.
I'm trying to hang, girl. Ain't nobody else gonna do it for me. So
I know that's right. Look here, we got some folks that glad to see you back. We glad to see you back, and thank you for taking a moment and deciding you were just gonna support and be with us today. But before we get into our subject today, for those that don't know, TC, you have your own podcast. You've been doing for a while.
Yeah.
And it is called what?
Conversations with Uncle T.
Uncle T.
Uncle T. How you come up with Conversations with Uncle T? Who is Uncle T?
Yeah, so the whole concept came out of just that. To my nieces, nephews, and even younger cousins, they call me Uncle T. And I'm that uncle. I'm that uncle that you go to complain about what mom and dad ain't doing, and I basically tell them the same thing their parents are saying, and all of a sudden it's an epiphany moment because I'm the cool uncle that hang out with them. I don't do no craziness, but we can hang. So I hang with them all, and this whole concept came out of the fact that I was constantly talking to nieces and nephews about just life, for those who want to listen. Some folk think they grown and don't need your advice, but
come over here and talk to our kids.
Come on. But for those who really found value in what I was saying, it just became one of those things. And so I said, hey, this is good advice for anybody. It ain't just my nieces and nephews and cousins, but I'd like to just share life with anybody willing to listen and do something with it. So concept was born. We started this 2 years ago, actually more than that, 3 years ago, and did about 19 episodes before Constance got sick. And then I shut it down because I didn't have the focus. And so we just did the reboot show a month ago. So we've got 3 down, and 4 show happens this week on Thursday. So every Thursday, 7 p.m. EST.
Okay.
I have a YouTube channel up, so Conversations at Uncle T. Check us out on YouTube, or you can come directly to my Facebook page, which is Terence TC Caston. And yeah, we on there dropping nuggets every week. So
That's good.
That's
good.
You got some friends in the mix in the background there. So
Okay.
Candace Simmons, it's me. Yes, we
What's
have to
good,
share with the young
sir?
people. And
Yeah.
then look, Candace just gave me an idea. We need to be interviewing Candace because Candace
Yeah.
reaches out to the younger audience.
Oh, he is
with,
all over that one.
Scholarships and
All
college
over it.
prep, and I
Yeah.
mean just
Yep.
a host of knowledge. A motivational speaker, was the
Yeah.
choir director at our church, and
He was
just
everything.
about-
You talking about a jack of all trades?
Woo!
Candace.
I
He
can't.
do them all
MC.
well. He do them all
drum
well.
major,
Yeah.
all of that. Candace, look, you be on the standby for a call. We got you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard. Yep.
So,
So I have a co-host. His
yep.
name is Matthew Berry. He and I go back about 25, 30 years. We've worked together in the wireless industry, just been a good friend, been there with me through all of my life over the last 25, 30 years. So
That's good.
knows intimately me and my family and everything we've been through. Couldn't think of a better person to have host this with me. He is a man of character. He's a pastor. He's in technology. He a real brother. So, we don't get spooky. We get real.
Right.
I love him for that. He's always been transparent, real with me. And so he can drop great nuggets. Him and his wife are marriage counselors. He was a youth pastor for many years as well, but just a down to earth, real brother. And so we have really great y'all just don't know, the best conversations we have are on my pre-show call on Tuesday. When he and I are just chopping it up about what we're going to talk about. We talk for hours sometimes.
Wow.
And so really all that's happening on Thursday is we letting y'all in the room. We letting you in the room to basically hear the topics that we talk about. And, the goal is to talk about things that are relevant to people and leave people better than how we found them. That's the whole concept. So we're going to talk about it. We ain't going to judge it. We're going to talk about it. And the goal is to leave some Uncle T nuggets and hopefully leave people in a better condition than the way we found them.
TC, I love that we all have been a part of ministry and church and getting the word. But we have this new social media outlet where we all get to tell our own story, the journey, and really keep it real. I always say keeping it real, because a lot of times we don't get a chance to be as transparent as we are now on social media. So if you don't like what we say, you can just flip the channel. You can go someplace else, and you can listen or not listen. But I appreciate us now being able to be raw and be real, and not have to have the scriptural or tiptoe around the Christianese and all those things we've done in the past, and being concerned about who's watching watching what we say. And I just love the transparency that I've seen. Just from even from what Fuller and I are doing, and now from what you
love what you guys are doing. Yeah.
So let's catch up.
It's so neat. Yeah. So outside of that, my world continues to evolve and turn. This December is 2 years since Constance's passing, and
2.
Man, that's great.
Yeah, 2 years.
Wow.
So it's been a process. Life is still lifing. I lost my mom to lung cancer August 15th of this year. And so, she was my rock through Constance. And then, she decided to get up out of here as well. So, but I am so much better in her situation because of what happened. So I was able to process that a little bit differently. We had conversations. My mom was a warrior. she prepared us. You know, it was just a whole different vibe, right?
Yeah.
And one of her famous words to me when she called me only like a month or so before she passed, when she got this diagnosis, this thing was crazy quick, was that, you know, she had got this diagnosis and, you know, hey, it was what it was. You know, you're talking about a retired nurse. My mom was a nurse for 52 years. She was a minister. She was a massotherapist. She was a counselor. Um, and her last 10 years in nursing, she was a hospice nurse. She's
Okay.
just an amazing person. And so her outlook on the whole situation was like, you know, we're gonna do what we need to do. We're gonna, you know, they say this thing is what it is. We're gonna go do chemo. She told me, I want everything you got. I'm a young 83, so we're gonna do what we need to do.
Yeah.
So I'm driving down the road, tears streaming, because she calling me, telling me that she just got this diagnosis. And then she literally, she talked to me. She was like, we ain't gonna do no pity parties. I done lived a great life. You know, my stepfather's been gone for like 7, 8 years. So she's been living by herself, loving living by herself. But I know she missed him. And
Right.
she was like, you know, more importantly, this is the order of things. You guys are supposed to bury me. I'm not supposed to bury you. So these things are what they are. We ain't gonna trip about them. Y'all gonna do life, and we're gonna keep this thing moving. She said, and here's the biggest thing you need to be clear about. I am not afraid of dying. She said, I don't live my whole life saved to go be with him. What am I looking like? Talking about I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's the
scared.
one.
And if he say this the way I need to go, then this the way I need to go. But please know I'm not afraid of dying. So everything gonna be all right. Period.
Yeah.
That
You
was
know,
her conversation with me. When I got done, I dried my tears. I ain't cried no more since. So
That's
mom
Godfidence.
knew.
That's Godfidence right there.
Real talk. That's
Yep.
confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence. Yeah.
I remember the
So it
times
was a journey.
when your mom was there when Constance
Yeah.
was going through her healing, and you know she
Yeah.
was staying at the house, coming to
Yep.
visit you to take
Yep.
care of you also.
Silent storm. She was a
Yeah.
silent storm.
Yeah.
She'd be here and something be going on, and all of a sudden you don't see mom. She done came up to the guest room. She just sitting there praying about it. She don't have to come lay hands on you, nothing. She in a whole nother part of the house. She know what's going on. She see you breaking down. She didn't come and do no whole lot of baby, and she rub on me and hug me, whatever. But she'd let me go through what I had to go through. She'd
Yeah.
go to a whole nother side of the house, put that serious prayer on you. And before
Yeah.
you know it, you like, man, you done stood up, you feeling good. And this never clicked till she
Yeah.
was gone. When she was gone, I was like, that's what she was doing. She was so quiet and powerful with it like that. No
Yeah.
whole lot of deep, oh Lord, saving this. She would just
Right.
quietly go
Yeah.
to her room and put a prayer on you, and
Right.
everything was gonna be all right.
Yeah. I find it, you know, Terrence, I know you may not remember this, but Constance, back at that time, my sister was going through a healing from lung cancer as well.
Mm,
My sister passed away from lung cancer, and I remember Constance was on the phone with me when they, you know, when we were towards the end, and just trying to, you know, help me. But you know, so now you've got, and I'm sharing, and I'm asking these questions, and Terrence is sharing, you guys, because there's somebody here that knows somebody, or even perhaps you have lost a spouse, lost a parent, and just that grief cycle and what you go through. It's always encouraging to hear somebody else that can tell you
That's
their
right.
story, but it's not your same journey, right? It's not going to
Yep.
feel the same. I mean, for me to even say my sister, I lost my sister to lung cancer, is like me saying to Fuller, you know, who lost a wife to brain cancer. A wife and a sister is not even the same.
mm-hmm.
The feeling that you have is not even the same.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no comparison.
Yeah. And
No
so,
comparison.
and so we have to be careful. You know, I said this before when we compare, and I wasn't comparing, I was just using that as the, you know, me saying that I didn't know if you knew that lung cancer is very interesting, because that's not something that you even have to have been sick, or it
Right.
just shows up.
That's right.
You know, because
Yeah.
so it's just really interesting. But you know, can you just, for the people, because I know on Uncle T's your podcast, you probably talk about it. In fact, you did, because I was listening on one of your segments, just about what is that journey like, having lost now a spouse, and right behind that, now I can't even believe we
Yeah.
have this conversation about a mother,
Yeah.
a parent.
I think it really galvanizes the fact that, for me, it galvanizes the fact that there is a God, because I should not be standing.
Yeah.
And I think the segment you might have watched was called "Standing Through Grief." I think it was episode 2 that I did this year. And yeah, like, God is so real. I just, yeah, just beyond words. Because had someone told me this was my journey, I don't know. I ain't never thought about doing something to myself. But if
Yeah.
you'd have told me this 2 years ago, that this was going to be your journey, yeah, that's a little
Yeah.
tough. And
Oh.
it is, it's a constant reevaluation of, is this really my life right now? Like, every day I'm kind of reevaluating, like, wow, is this really happening? And I say that because I came in my office a few months ago. Certain parts of my house had just become dysfunctional. I just didn't go in certain rooms, and I just froze everything. I literally came in my office and had things on the board that were from the fall of 2022, right? On my strategy board. I just had not touched nothing. So I cleaned my whole office out. I need to just get a fresh start. And you guys know I'm a photographer, and so I got literally thousands of photos. But I had printed photos over the years and didn't know I had a box there just full of photos. Probably goes back 20 something years. Like when you used to take the film in, because I shot film and I had these film 35 millimeters. So all these pictures were still in their packs from the drugstore with the the negatives behind it. I'm going through photos for the last I shot with that film camera probably up to about 10 years ago. So 20 some odd years ago, the kids are young, growing up, coming up, doing all these things. And I'm just looking at our life. And I think what racked me most about her passing was I had an amazing life. Our life was like a storybook, from struggle to things getting better to new jobs and careers, and finally getting to a place where you could breathe, and all the struggles that everybody's gone through, we went through them, and then you finally get here, and the only thing that's missing now was this next chapter, which was, we raised the kids, we got stuff, we bought stuff, you good with stuff, and now you just gonna live. And all of a sudden the walls crash down.
No.
So that disbelief is the part that still shakes me. But the fact that I had an amazing journey, 40 years with the love of my life. I mean, hell, high water, mad, not mad, she was the love of my life. And so I had to catch myself about being too sad, because I had 40 good years with the love of my life, and not many people can say that. So I'm okay. Those days helped me be okay, knowing that we went through all of it together, the worst of times and the best of times. One thing that's been consistent in my life is her. Since I'm 19, she was here.
Wow.
So I am looking at life differently. I would advise everyone and anyone dealing with grief to let your gratitude completely heal you from grief. I wake up on some days feeling some kind of way, especially if I have a dream about her. And instead of waking up sad, I change my mindset and I just begin to think about all the things that I'm grateful for still.
Yeah.
Starting with, Lord, thank you that my body works. I can get up out of bed. I'm in my right mind. All the stuff the old people used to talk about. Thank you, Lord, for letting me have my right mind. I know what they talking about now.
Exactly.
I could be crazy. And so I spend those days where grief could overtake me. First of all, have your grief moment. It's necessary. Can't go around grief. You got to go through it. Have your moment. Get your little boo-hoo in. Hit the ground. Get it together. And begin thanking God for every little thing you got. You will spend the whole day thanking him.
Amen.
One thing will lead to another. Something will lead to something else. And then the little simplest things that you've been overlooking, you like, God, that's you in that. And so I just turn my whole day into gratitude, and it wipes my tears away.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, I got one more question for you, Terence, because we're
Mhm.
6:21, and there's not ever enough time to talk to you. I mean, we have so many things we want to talk about,
Yeah.
but and I don't know if you're open to sharing. Other people may not know the other part of your journey through your own personal health.
Yeah.
And so this
Yeah,
show is, I mean, all of it is amazing just to hear
Yeah.
your testimony.
And some of it happened at the same time, right?
It was happening
Same
all at
time.
the same
Yeah.
time.
So I'll go ahead and put that out. And I've never talked about it in public, but I'll do it tonight. So I ended up with a rare form of a bone cancer in 2021. No, again, I've never spoke about this. Which was the start of our what in the world, right? Because you hear the C word. I was home checking wheels like I'm gone. It's not that type of a cancer, thank God. First of all, for a lot of people who hear the cancer word and freak out, there are thousands of cancers. Okay, so
Right.
calm down. Everything is not a death sentence. People live with cancer every day, and in the United States, at 70, 1 in 3 of us will have dealt with cancer or will be dealing with cancer. So you might as well get used to it. And most of us are. But I ended up with this rare bone cancer, which puts like lesions on your bone. And I had, and again, I was fine. I mean, I hurt my hip and went to the doctor, and they was like, I thought it was arthritis or something. I was kind of getting old. And he's like, let me do an MRI. And we came back to the MRI. He said, "Hey, I see these spots on your pelvis and on your hip bone, and hey, this doesn't look good." I'm like, "What is you talking about?" He was like, "How do you feel? Are you losing weight? Are you?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. My hip was aching, and I came to the doctor because it didn't stop aching at night. It was aching at night." So one thing leads to another, and sure enough, I ended up with this thing. Now the beauty was, it was something that they got amazing science out there. Target therapy is something that they got. You can take these pills that only affect the cancer cell. So it only works on certain kinds of cancers. I had one where it did, where I just take 2 pills at night. And the goal of it is target therapy, unlike chemotherapy, which wipes out all the cells and then your good cells come back, and hopefully the cancer cells don't. This is a target therapy. These pills go directly to the cancer cell and destroy the cancer's ability to make blood vessels. The reason cancer spreads because it doesn't need a blood bank. It creates its own blood bank. So those cells create blood banks and they just continue to multiply. And that's how it spreads. So here is a drug that they've come up with. I think it can work for lung. I definitely know it works for bone. And it attacks those. And so if something pops up there, it kills it where it's at. And then the bone is fascinating. It's kind of like liver. It can regenerate itself. So if something pops up, the target therapy stops it from growing, and then the bone encapsulates it and makes bone over it. So it's a completely weird, strange thing, but that's what I was dealing with.
Yeah.
And so I've been good. That was in 21. I take a couple of pills and stay healthy, keep moving. Don't sit still. Keep your head game right. All of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people didn't know I was dealing with that when she ended up getting like a real like a pancreatic cancer. It's like the worst too is pancreatic and lung.
Yeah.
Connie got pancreatitis and mom just had lung. Now mom smoked for 20 years.
Oh, okay.
From her 20s into her 40s. Had quit smoking. She was 83 and had no problems with nothing. Was down here walking with me 2 miles a day all winter long, cutting firewood for me, washing my clothes, taking just totally healthy 83-year-old woman. Went back home, and that spring had a bout of pneumonia. And then they look further and look at some stuff, and again, we end up with this diagnosis in late June, and we had to incubate her. And at one point, we had to pull the plug on August 15th. So it was just. But let me say this before we run out of time. It is an amazing journey. It is not something any of us can get around. Like I said, the only way out is we all have to die. So how we go is another story. When we go is God's journey. But more importantly, while you're here, live life to its fullest.
Yes.
Love people, love them hard, make memories every day on purpose. These are things that my wife preached to me all the time. And be there for each other. I just want to tell you about somebody really special who was there for me at both of these. These are the two pillars of my life, my wife and my mom. They everything about me, who I am, these were the two women that are responsible for it. But there was a third woman that I kind of adopted over the last 10 years into this equation because she reminded me of my mom. She reminded me of my aunt. She reminded me of my grandma. And my wife had fallen in love with her. And I'm in Ohio working on my mom's funeral stuff. And my Auntie Carol calls me and says, I'm in Chicago, but I'm coming to you. And Carol Jones showed up in Little Sandusky, Ohio, and sat right there with me and spoke at my mom's funeral and brought greetings from World Changers Church, but was just there with me, sat in the car with me, went to the cemetery with me. Yeah.
She's that kind of person.
Yeah.
And she really kept us abreast. She talked to us every day, even before she came over. She told me she told me about she was going to Chicago. She told us about kept us updated with you because you know when somebody going through like that, I don't want a lot of phone calls personally. Somebody, so she kept. I didn't want to bother you. We didn't want to bother you, and so she kept us. I'm in Chicago. I'm flying down to be with TC.
She was on
tomorrow.
late flights. Dude, they was doing all kinds of stuff, and even in the midst of it, and then I had people pick her up, put her in a hotel, But the fact that she just in the midst of all she was doing, made it happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You need somebody in your life like that. You definitely need an anchor like that.
Let me tell you something. Carol Jones, Minister Carol Jones,
she the real
deal. Love her some TC.
Yes.
And she loved her some Constance was a girl.
Right.
If she gonna do some praise and worship, she like, look, you let loose. You do what you want to do. You ain't got to stop. We keep going past the video.
Right.
But you know, for
that's
TC,
good.
I'm telling you, every time we talk, there's always a good story from you, even though it shouldn't be a story you have to tell. But we just want to say we appreciate you so much for being transparent and vulnerable.
You got me on TV crying, so
when you come on here, you can cry.
Transparent than this, so
look.
So, real men cry, so you're a real man.
I've been that way all my life, so ain't no problem with it, bro.
But something you said earlier, and getting back to when we originally started talking about young people, and that's what they want. They want the people to be authentic. They want them to be real. They want them to tell the truth. Don't be trying to tell me no story or no fable, but they want the truth. And even the people that are on listening tonight, I'm sure they're going to share with someone else to watch this because there's so many people are in the closet grieving. And they don't know how to get out of it. They're in chains and in bondage, and they don't know how to get out. And you said, be thankful for the little things. To have a heart of gratitude. And as Constance told you about loving people, it's not just a cliche with Q and I.
On purpose. That was her
love and kindness is always in season. Love and kindness is always in season. And we live by that. That's our a life motto, and you can't do enough loving to people, and it won't return unto us void. Definitely won't.
You know, TC, I'm so thankful that we get a chance to continue to chat with you. But our time has come to a close for tonight. But I will ask that you know, we're coming up on a very important part in all of our lives where it's time to vote. TC, I saw that you had voted. Me and Fuller went and voted early. Mama took
We
Mama.
took Mama with us.
Bringing Paige back. She need to come home and vote early.
Austin got an absentee ballot.
Yep, got an absentee ballot. So we're serious about this. So if you are undecided, which I don't understand how anybody can be undecided right now, but if whatever the case may be, we're encouraging you to go out and cast your vote.
And not just cast your vote for Kamala Harris.
Oh, we going all the way in tonight.
Look, I'm not trying to be political correct. I'm a grown A man. I'm a grown A man.
That's right. Tell them what it is.
What is happening right now?
First time somebody done went on and got real with it, we'd be like, well, just vote, just be registered, just
look like I'm trying
I need y'all to go vote for Kamala Harris. And I need to see y'all's stuff when you get done.
Right. We're gonna go online to the voter registration and see if you voted.
Right.
I'm checking to see who you voted for. I need to get that done. Yeah.
Look, TC, we love you. We see people who voted, they cast their vote, but we cast our vote today for you for showing up on this show.
I appreciate y'all.
We love you.
Love y'all more.
And,
man, you're a blessing. You're a heavenly treasure and an earthly body.
Look at that. Look at that.
I'm gonna take that. Anything Fuller say, I believe it.
That's right. Yes, look, you guys go watch on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on Terence Caston's Facebook page, or they can find you on YouTube. How?
Conversations with Uncle T. Go look it
up.
And I'm trying to drive everybody there. Go there right now, like the page, subscribe to the page, because that's where it's ultimately going to all go down. So Conversations with Uncle T, YouTube, and just be in the mix.
Awesome. Okay. Well, look, you guys, thank you for joining again. We are almost at the end of the month, but look, we got a show next week. We're going to come to you live from another location.
Yes.
So y'all stay tuned.
Out of state.
Out of state. And so we love you guys. Y'all take care. Be blessed. And remember, love and kindness is always
in season.
All right.
Love you, brother.
See ya.
All right now.